So my dad used to work for the American ambassador in Cuba, but he was just like as a contractor, and he was building chicken coops and fountains and whatnot. And then one day I was working with him outside of a house, and I was wearing a school uniform. Very, anybody that wears that school uniform is Cuban. But I was outside of the American ambassador's house just doing his lawn. And I remember this guy coming from the house next to him, and he was Cuban. And that impressed me because Cubans don't have those type of house. And he looked so white, like his skin was so white. And it's not that we don't have white people in Cuba. Myself, I'm Scandinavian descent, so we have white people. But because of the sun, because taking the buses, nobody looks as pale as he did. Yeah. He must have a really good life. And he came up to me and he said, "Hey, little kid, are you Cuban?" And I said, "Yes." And then he looked at me and said, "Is your dad Cuban?" And I said, "Yes." "What are you guys doing?" And I said, we just doing the lawn, and my dad is doing a chicken coop inside. And he said, "Oh, okay. He went inside. About a month later, my dad gets called into a military base. And they tell him, "Listen, we have somebody coming from Miami with drugs in his briefcase. And he had your information as your mule. You were going to, traffic drugs for them." And my dad kind of chuckled nervously because he's like, "What are you talking about?" And they started telling him, "This is the story we're going to say if you don't stop working for the Americans. We're going to accuse you of peligrosismo, un expediente de peligrosidad, which means terrorism. You're a terrorist. It's kind of like the equivalent level to a terrorist. 1,000 pesos ticket. And then if you don't stop, you'll go to jail for building a chicken coop."
Wow.
He was labeled a terrorist. After this, that's when we put in our application, and then on top, we had to tell my whole experience growing up as a religious person in Cuba, the constant persecution I faced by the teachers and students. And with this, that's how we put it in our application, and we applied, and we were able to escape.